Welcome to Sports Jazz. David, Josh, and we are back live streaming with the EPL roundup, EPL preview, weekly. Sorry, not preview, review. Yeah, the weekend had very, very crazy results. We saw big clubs. We don't know whether they're still clubs, but rather big. But we saw clubs being humiliated after spending a lot of money. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's Sports Jazz. You have Josh and David. It's very balanced today that we have an Arsenal fan and a Manchester United fan. I, for one, am a Leeds fan, so at least I'm not going to take sides. Anyway, guys, before all of you come in, let's first have this, please. Let's first have this. This was before the day before Brighton versus Manchester United. So let's first have this. Let's just play this.
We shall win that game. I do think that it is time for Delict to
that's Josh.
partner Lisandro Martinez alongside Diogo Dalot we shall win that game. I do think that it is time for Delict to partner Lisandro Martinez alongside Diogo Dalot in Mazraoui. Yeah, that is a formidable backline for us. In midfield, we shall have Casemiro, we shall have Kobe Mainu and Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho will continue to be an impact player off the bench, or we can say that it's an extended rest for him. United is not bleeding against Brighton, really. I mean, we shall win that game. Then Amad Diallo will start there. Rashford.
Guys, I think that's enough. That's enough. Josh, what happened? You convinced us. You told us you're winning the game. What happened, Josh? What went wrong?
Yeah, but you see, the backline that I had selected is not the one that started the game. I never ever envisioned that Eric Ten Hag would insist on playing Harry Maguire. But I do understand the reason he might have played Harry Maguire ahead of Matthias de Ligt. Maybe he's not yet gotten minutes in his legs to be able to perform at that level. And much as I would have wanted him to start the game, maybe it could have been a whole other thing if he brought him on when he's not fully fit or much sharp, for that matter. So the problems that we did have, you could see there was some schoolboy defending from Harry Maguire to concede the first goal. I don't know. I don't think even under 15s can play like that. He let the ball just run across him and watched it come back.
You know, at some point
he picked the wrong man, but there was more than just Maguire to blame for the goal. It's just that Maguire could have helped us not concede that goal in the first place. I mean, the ball that he let go across him, he could have just kicked it outside. There was a problem with Casemiro. Casemiro was a bit he lacked concentration in that moment. He lost concentration in that moment. He did not track his man all the way. At least he should have been one midfielder should have been the one to pick up Danny Welbeck, because Lisandro Martinez was on the back post and he was left with two men. So the only person who was next to him who would have helped the situation would have been Casemiro, but that was not the case. But I can say it is not a crisis at United. I mean, you can lose a game. For me, the performance was good. If the performance is bad and you get the result, there's a problem in the future. But if the performance is good and the result does not go your way, at least there's a hope in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh. David, we were waiting to witness, see what what Josh had said would happen, but unfortunately, it was an upset for Manchester United. Awful defending from Maguire. I also think the substitutions did cost the team. I mean, all those late substitutions. It's okay to substitute someone, but getting off Bruno Fernandes, who was trying to create, when he came off, they did not create anything after he was taken off. I mean, it came as a shock that he was being substituted off the pitch. And we see they've spent a lot of money. Brighton has also spent a lot, approximately 170 million pounds this season. They've signed Ibrahim Osman. They've signed Yankuba Mite, who has been very, very splendid from Newcastle. And by the way, Mite he was in Newcastle, but he never played for Newcastle, surprisingly. And he came, he didn't leave cheap. They got him for 40 million pounds. Then they have Mats from Feyenoord, 25 million pounds. They have very many players. Then they have one on from Arsenal, Amario, free transfer. Then they have Gruda from Mainz in German, 25 million pounds. And they have another one from Leeds, Eugenio Rota, 40 million pounds. In other words, they've also improved their squad. They didn't play a very convincing game yesterday. I actually think United played, especially in the first half, a convincing game. But Ten Hag's decision, I mean, you start Rashford, who has been awful, who has had a very, very long I mean, it's not that he didn't even play in the Euros. He should be fine right now, firing goals. David, according to you, what do you think is wrong currently at Manchester United? Oh, it's not an alarm. Things are going to fall in place.
Yeah, I think we talked about how no matter which manager Brighton will get, they have established a very clear identity. They were always bound to test United. But even more than that, United still, even though, I mean, regardless of the backline they fielded, United has, advantages with the quality of talent that they have. The gap is big. But in my opinion, I think Ten Hag, we have to now start to question how he's overthinking things. We understand that shirt 7 is a sacred number at United. It's probably the most prestigious shirt number at United. But this business of Mason Mount, I think it has to be brought to a stop. It has to be brought to a stop. United should have created many more chances than Brighton. Even if it would have conceded 2, it could have scored 4. It should have actually scored 4 or 5 goals. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. We know that Bruno Fernandes will never be a center forward, and even if he has not been put in center forward position to score, whatever gimmicks Ten Hag is trying to work out there are simply not working. United was doing the simple things in the preseason. They were probably one of the most attractive teams to watch in the preseason. And even though teams were still in preseason, and we can neglect or discount the preseason games, teams were at the same level. They had similar fatigue issues, similar sharpness issues. They were supposed to ride that momentum with what we had seen in the preseason. Bruno Fernandes is the creator in chief. He's supposed to occupy that space. He's not supposed to be a presser at the top. He's like, it's all mixed up. I think he's overthinking this Ten Hag, But then we can also give kudos to Brighton's midfield. They have experience in James Milner and what's that kid's name? The kid from Chelsea.
Gross.
And Norwich. What's the kid's name?
Who?
Billy Gilmore.
Billy Gilmore. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, has spent now a sufficient amount of time in the Premier League. Yeah, and he's he has experience at quite good sides. He had a spell at Chelsea. He struggled with struggling teams. I think Norwich for a while there. So he's built some experience, and that's a midfield that is going to be very bold against whoever you bring, even if the quality might be short. But for me, that's the real issue here. Ten Hag has to stop overthinking, especially for games like this. You know what to expect. Just do what is simpler first. And you see, the more he overthinks, the tougher the games are going to begin to get for him. Because I think he's more focused on, how he could surprise the opposition, then what are the easiest solutions at his disposal at the moment? So for me, that's what I see at the moment.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, David. David,
But for
guys,
me, in his defense,
yeah,
in his defense,
Josh?
you can understand why he insists on playing. You can understand why he insists on playing Mason Mount at the top and Bruno Fernandes in that position. For hacking off Bruno Fernandes when he did, I just believe that maybe Bruno Fernandes has not given United the game that he ought to have given us. So Scott McTominay, with the record that he had before, the record he had last season, you would think that he's someone who can come and play in that 10 role and maybe get a goal for you. So I didn't really have a problem with Bruno Fernandes going off. I had a problem with Mason Mount starting, but like you said, that experiment should stop because much as it gives Ten Hag style of play, the press, it allows United to press and squeeze the other team so high up the pitch and we get the ball. But the wild dog that we have in Mason Mount cannot use the ball. When he gets the ball, he just passes it to the person next to him. So we have a person who plays in a very important position, but he's not good on the ball. He's actually very poor on the ball. He's just chasing shadows and making sure that the player next to him gets the ball. I can say that Mason Mount, I don't think Mason Mount would want to be that type of player, would want to be playing like that, but he has accepted to be the sacrifice for the style of play that the manager wants to work. But I think it's time for Mason Mount to be out of that team. It's time for Zagzi to lead the line because Zagzi, much as he does not press as good as Mason Mount does, he can give you so many other things that the team do not have. Because the biggest problem that United had last season was scoring goals. You cannot go into the new season having bought a striker and he's on the bench. He actually even scored in the first game. So
Even in the second,
how are you going to get the goals that you need? You know that
disqualified.
yeah, you know that Bruno Fernandes has not been. You know that Bruno Fernandes has not been well rested after the Euro and stuff like that. He's actually the only player who has not been given some minutes off. So I would understand him getting off. But then you ask him to lead the line. Yes, we did play well. We actually could have scored many goals if we were clinical, but we were not clinical, and that's a problem that you had. So you're using the same players you had last season in the same positions or different positions, expecting them to give you goals. Yet the problem you had was goals. Now you have Zagzi. Just use Zagzi and see if he can unlock some teams and United gets on the score sheet early. It was a bit fortunate. It was a bit unfortunate for United the way that goal was disallowed. But I also say, man, where is the common sense? Where is the common
It's the
sense
rules.
from the referees? Don't referees have discretion anymore?
It's the rules, Josh. It's the rules. I don't even blame.
Yeah,
the
it's the rule, but they do have discretion. I mean, like it's not like he was blocking the view of the keeper. It's not like he was as in like him being there, he did not even attempt to play the ball. He was just getting up. The knee is attached to his body. He cannot get up without actually attempting to squat or something.
Yeah,
but
I know.
there's no crisis at United. That is a game that we lost, but I believe that the manager now is going to go into the Liverpool game much better, and he will understand the strengths of his side. I know he's hell-bent on Mason Mount because that style of football works for him, but if only he had a player as good as Bernardo Silva to do that work for him. But Mason Mount so far, no, he has not actually showed up in a United shirt.
Before we close the United the United loss. Why is he playing Rashford? Rashford has, I mean, he had enough time to recover, to train, to come ready. I know he had, yes, one season, but I also think Garnacho should start ahead of Rashford. He's awful. Did you see the way he was running
Of
yesterday?
course.
It's like he didn't even want to run, passing the balls,
No, of course, Garnacho.
the crosses. Mm.
No, of course, Garnacho going forward will start ahead of Marcus Rashford. But Marcus Rashford at the moment appears to be the freshest or the most fresh player in attack that
No,
United have,
no,
along with
Josh, no,
Amad Diallo.
no
Yes,
fresh
there will
player.
come a time that, for me, my prediction for the squad, how the squad will be used going into the season, I actually thought that Garnacho will be starting for United in the third game, much as we needed him even in the second game. And like you saw, he still came on and scored a goal off the bench. So I mean, there's not much loss that you do have Garnacho starting on the bench, because he will still come on and impact the game very positively.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Although I still insist Rashford shouldn't start, and I disagree with Josh saying he's the most. He said he's the freshest person. Well, fresh people, fit people do not do what
Maybe he's the
Rashford is
most
doing right
fresh
now.
attacker. Yeah, but
Compared
no,
to
I'm
what I've
only
seen,
saying that because I know that Rashford did not play the Euros. I
Josh,
know that Rashford had a long vacation. So I'm just thinking that he's the most fresher player.
I've seen people who have even played like Garnacho did play in the Copa America, but he's doing way better every time. It's either an assist or it's a goal. So with me, I also think Ten Hag has to revise. In fact, this whole game, I blame Ten Hag why United lost. And again, I don't know whether he's being blindfolded. Maguire, I understand. Yes, yeah, he kind of had a decent game towards the end of the match, but
No, no,
even
no,
last
no, no,
time,
no, no, no.
listen, even last time he had maybe a decent game, but that's being should I call it hoodwinked? We all know what's going to happen after. Why is he starting all these people? Yet he knows what is going to happen. You saw the goal, the first goal. The ball is coming, and he's trying to look on his
Yeah,
left shoulder. By the
but
time
the
he comes
second
back to
one
look on
was
the right
worse.
shoulder, he can't. He can't. The second one, you saw delete asking them, guys, where were you? You know, awful. Oh, and Yao Pedro had
I
to,
know.
had to do
Yeah,
what
but
he's born
you
to
would.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, but
Josh.
I would like to think that that can happen in. I would like to think that that can happen in a new setup, especially at the back, because at the back, the what makes teams thrive or defenses thrive is partnerships. So I mean, this is like the first time people are being thrown to the field.
Well, his experiments are
You
going to
know,
cause him.
you, you know the other
Yes.
thing.
Mm,
Yeah, the other thing that I've observed about United, and we can actually query their ambitions in a genuine way. Just on the pitch, when I look at the teams that are competing, and I know we're going to talk about Arsenal and Liverpool and City later, but when I look at the United attack, I don't see partnerships. I don't see partnerships that are working. You know what I mean? Those partnerships are there. Yeah, we can sing our
Yeah,
criticisms against Rashford forever, but you don't see whom is he connecting with, because we see that everywhere else. When you watch how electric City is, at the heart of their attack, you see those partnerships that are working at the top. You can see Haaland connecting with how he's at the end of everything that De Bruyne does. You can see how the Belgium dribbler is, connecting with, you see that Rico Lewis is connect at United. I don't see that. At Arsenal, you can see Saka connecting with White. You can see, you keep seeing that. At United, I don't seem to see which partnership or which, I don't see what's working. I don't see those connections working naturally. So for me, it comes down to Ten Hag on some level. Yeah, the
correct.
players are also not helping, but I think Ten Hag could do more.
Yeah, he could. He could honestly.
Yeah, but the
Anything Ten
players
Hag.
must
And I
take
think that's why you
responsibility.
have
The
Zaxi.
players
Yeah,
must
you
take
have Zaxi.
responsibility.
Josh, at the end of the day, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I'm saying the
yeah, I
players
understand.
must
I
take
understand.
responsibility too. The thing David is saying about partnerships, I do agree with him. Like Rashford, when he had Luke Shaw behind him, he actually played very well because they connected very well. Maybe we are yet to see Mazraoui and Ahmad Diallo, but they're both just coming into the team for the first time.
You see,
As in,
Josh,
we do want United to behave. We want United to behave like a team that has been progressing. But for me, I take it that this is the first season of United's progress, despite it being the third season for the manager.
anyway. Guys, you know what? This is a long one. Nick says Ten Hag using Bruno as a false nine lately. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. It's not a good idea at all. They're having too many offsides. It's good to have a
Yeah, it's
striker
not a
there.
good idea, especially that he bought a false nine. He bought
A true
Zaxi, who is a
false nine.
false nine. So then
Oh,
why would a true false nine with all the capabilities and he can actually score some goals, then you continue to play Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno
yeah, that's it.
Fernandes thrives in the
That's
position
it
that
for.
he plays with.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Well, that's it all about Brighton whooping Manchester United. It wasn't a really a whoop, but yeah, a bit disappointing to see United losing because they had some good. You could see they had. By the way, Ten Hag's record against Brighton is ugly. It's ugly, very ugly. I think he's lost. He's won only one and lost like 4 or 5. You know, but moving
Yeah.
on, we are going into the Arsenal game. Uh, sorry, Nick says he thinks Edin Tazik will be a good replacement for Ten Hag.
The guys are already thinking of the guy exiting.
No, no,
Let's
no, no,
drive
no,
into
no.
guys. Let's drive
No, no,
into
no, 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 no. I
Arsenal
don't know.
beating
I don't know
Aston
why
Villa.
all these people around football want Ten Hag's head on a
Josh,
plate.
Josh, we are going to come back to Ten
I
Hag.
mean, even before, it is not a crisis to lose a game at Brighton. I mean, like, what a game. You were just singing his praises because he won an FA Cup. I mean, we have managers in the
Josh,
league who are at their clubs and they are comfortable. They even mooted to be given new contracts, yet they've won nothing but community shields.
Josh, let's switch to Arsenal. Let's switch to Arsenal. Thank you once again for tuning in. Sports Jazz, Isaac, Josh, and
Yeah,
David.
the guy
We
at
are
Arsenal.
live. We are live. David, I see you're smiling. Very good game yesterday. I
Something
also
Josh
think.
said just sticks out in my head of
Uh,
managers who haven't actually won anything significant, but they're being offered new contracts. That sounds like a
yeah.
dig at Ateta.
Yeah, they're being offered new.
Anyway, uh,
They're being offered new contracts. I mean,
so Josh, no, sorry, David, the game yesterday where you won comfortably, I must say. Although it's not like Arsenal also really played very well, but yeah, you must give them their flowers. They played well. They won, beating Aston Villa 2-0. I think now that's a one for Arteta, nil for United this season. Because I know that there's some bit of bad blood between Arsenal, not Arsenal anyway, between Emery and Arsenal. He would like to beat Arsenal every chance he gets. But yeah, let's look at the game yesterday, George. David, you won the game. Trossard coming on, first touch scores the goal. He wasn't really so happy according to the celebrations or to the celebration we saw. Partey trying to carry him, but he still wasn't moving. Take us through the whole game. How was the game?
Yeah, this feels like a continuation of the conversation we were having last weekend when we were analyzing how much they won panned out. So that game could have gone another way. It could have gone another way. but Arsenal's defense, and in this case, the goalkeeper. Many of the championship winning sides have had a top level goalkeeper. And I think in that game against Aston Villa, we can question the quality of the finish by Ole Watkins, but then we have to admit those were some world-class displays by David Raya. So for me, it's kudos to David Raya. Trossard said a lot with his silence, you know. He left us to make so many conclusions, but then that's the team he's in. I imagine on some level he understands that's where the team is at this point in time. The quality Arteta has amassed, both internally and from the market, is quite wide, and he has to actually become comfortable with competing. But that was a good display from Arsenal. Although
a good display.
Villa could have easily taken that game. So
that's what
I'm still uncomfortable a bit, the same way I was last weekend. And maybe those are indications that Arsenal is starting to show that it can win without looking, attractive. So let's just look forward to the next weekend.
We saw Oli Watkins missing 2 good chances. If those chances had gone inside,
he ended up in places he had no business being in. Especially with the way Arsenal's defense is set up and the reputation that Arsenal's defense has, he had no business finding himself in those positions, just right in front of our goalkeeper like that. So for me, those things have me concerned a bit.
There was trouble beckoning every time a little-known guy called Morgan Rogers drove forward with the ball. It's like Thomas Partey was not there. Declan Rice was not there. I mean, like, whoa, what a player. I actually, it was so unfortunate that Villa didn't get anything from the game, only from the perspective of Morgan Rogers winning man of the match, because that deserved the man of the match award. He did play very well. For me, I think Arsenal is the luckiest team in the league, because on any other day, Oli Watkins buries that with his eyes closed. The first chance that he got. I mean, I don't know why he chooses to finish in the manner that he did. For the second one, it was a good save from David Raya, but it wasn't world class. The finish was still very poor. The one that hit the crossbar, then he headed it back.
Sorry about that.
Josh was making some very points there. But let me react to what he said in the meantime. So Morgan Rogers, whatever he did, the way he was carrying balls, that thing usually is dangerous to the opposition, and that's probably one of the reasons why we also brought Declan Rice. Among the reasons why we brought Declan Rice is his capability or his ability to carry that ball dangerously through the middle like that. So I completely agree with that observation. It kept hurting us. It kept exposing us. And then we talked about Declan Rice again last weekend. You see, that's the thing again that's, having me, anxious a bit. Declan Rice used to be our destroyer. Yes, he's our number 8. He has that ball carrying thing. But those are things that are not supposed to happen with Declan Rice on the pitch. So are we seeing a change a bit in the way he presents himself?
I'm not worried about Arsenal, to be honest. I'm not worried about them. I know they're going to come back. We see Nick saying Arsenal got 3 points they wanted, but Villa were unlucky and wasteful in the final touches in front of the goal, just like the West Ham game, correct?
Exactly. At this stage of the season, if you're Arsenal and you're chasing a title, all you want is to make sure that you get 3 points in every game that you play. And kudos to them. They got 3 points. They have 6 points. Do not lose points at this early stage of the season, because you do hope that your team will get together as the season goes on, and you become much better, but just don't lose points. And Arsenal did that. I was saying that Arsenal gives me this vibe of a champion in the making, because they don't have to play well to win games. And in that particular game against Aston Villa, even when they were stretched,
Case study, Real Madrid.
they were still comfortable. The back line when you look at the backline of Arsenal, you look at Jurien Timber, you look at Saliba, you look at Magalhaes and Ben White. I don't rate Ben White, but and Ben White, yo, that is quite a
Yeah,
backline. And in that
Josh,
game, they really did well.
I gave an example of Real Madrid when you said, they play like a team. All they have to do is just play and get 3 points, 3 points win. Madrid doesn't play that wowing
Yes, just get
football.
3 points.
You get it? But they come to win. They don't play ugly, but they still
Yeah, because
come to win.
they're the best transitional team in the world, but only because they have the best players at their club. So when Ten Hag talked about being a transitional team, I looked at the Man United team and I'm like, who can keep the ball during those transitions perfectly? Because when Madrid gets the ball from Rudiger and he makes a drive forward from defense, he'll just let that ball go to Luka Modric. Luka Modric will find Vinicius Jr. perfectly. Vinicius Jr. will find Rodrigo or whomever is rushing into the box, Jude Bellingham, perfectly. So there's just a bit of, you need to have players who are very good passers of the ball.
And David,
So just one small thing. When I watch Arsenal, I feel like you guys. When I watch Arsenal alone, I feel like we are inevitable. When I watch whatever is happening around the league, particularly with the person we're competing with closely, Man City, I start to have questions. I start to have questions.
Fire.
My goodness.
Did you see that comeback from Ipswich?
It's amazing when you.
It was like they were saying, "How dare you? How dare you score first? How dare?" And Haaland is not stopping. A hat trick. Haaland is not stopping at all.
Behind of a leopard is what I saw Ipswich doing, and it was just a bad idea. It's like
a bad
instantly Man City was reminded that
they could have scored 6 goals.
Let's destroy this team in the most humiliating way, because Ipswich wasn't playing so terribly, but it was inevitable. The gap in quality was so big. Every single thing Man City did was working. And yet with Arsenal, I feel a bit of labor here and there. So for me, that's the thing.
David, before we close the Arsenal topic, how about Trossard? What's up with Trossard? He didn't really look happy yesterday, and I really understand. I mean, to be honest, he should be starting ahead of Gabriel. He should be starting.
Yeah, he's
all day,
he's
every
making
day.
demands, not verbally, not vocally, but he's making demands with his performance. But we know that he lacks a fundamental attribute that is important to the way Arteta wants to play. He does not give us that verticality. Yes, he can run, but he's not as direct and as electric as Martinelli is. And for the record, I think that's the only thing that is still keeping Martinelli in the side. He's still very electric. He can still take us from one end of the pitch to another in a matter of seconds. But Trossard is a finisher. Trossard is the Madrid kind of player who creates moments out of nothing. And you also have need for that. So it's going to be a very interesting competition for us.
There's no competition for now. Trossard should be starting ahead of Gabriel Martinelli, honestly speaking. Pete says Liverpool won, which is true. Liverpool won comfortably. We are going to come. In fact, we're going to Liverpool right now. Arteta is doing a fine job. He's really, really doing a fine job. He's doing way better than Ten Hag. He's not taking risks. He has players. He has Calafiori, but he's not. He's not taking risks. Who else? There's another player.
Arteta and Ten Hag are not on the same wavelength. Where Arteta's team is not where Man United is.
No, Josh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying he's not taking risks. It's like Ten Hag is testing out something, and he knows that it's not going to work. You have Joshua who scored in your first year on his debut, comes back again. He shows you how hungry he is, and you still choose to play Fernandes ahead of as a false nine. You're having offsides. Take off Mount, let Joshua start, let Fernandes start in his preferred position. Take out Marcus Rashford, give Garnacho, let the game begin. Simple. But anyway, that's me. Thank you once again. That was beautiful from David. A very, very happy fan. And Josh, I can't really say he's happy, but yeah, thank you once again, guys. Sports Jazz, Isaac, David, and Josh. And right now we are heading into Liverpool. Liverpool is having a great game. I mean, I wasn't expecting this, but now I agree. What Ancelot said, they have a very good team. He inherited a very beautiful team. The players look good. They are all back. You see, Darwin also yesterday was on the pitch. You saw Diaz, his goal was amazing. Of course, Mo Salah, as always, again, he's scoring. He's trying to do the unthinkable, and I think he will. Right now, he's one of the EPL legends, like it or not. Josh, tell me what you think about the Liverpool game. Is Ancelot ready to make records or ready to stand and bring a trophy for Liverpool?
Yeah, actually, maybe a trophy is a stretch, but why not? He's a Dutchman. He has very interesting ideas, and if the Liverpool players who have a bit of experience and youth pick up on the things that he wants to do, maybe they can even push Man City much more than Arsenal can. The win against Brentford meant a lot. It meant a lot to the Liverpool side because the way that Liverpool played in that game. By the way, Brentford was not just lying down for beating. They actually put up a very good fight, but Liverpool still found a way to win the game, and that's the difference when you have the quality of players like Mo Salah, like Soboslai, like Luis Diaz. I mean, they can just turn these moments when they get them, and they are very clinical. It was a good game from Liverpool, and Ancelot, at least he's winning without his ideas being totally ingrained in the Liverpool side, which is a good thing because I mean he's adapting well, and you would like to think that by the time they get into their fifth game, they will start to be playing exactly the way that he wants them to play, and I think Liverpool will be unplayable at the time after they lose to United over the weekend.
No, there is no way they're smashing United. Nick says Liverpool were
So-
good, but Chelsea were frightening, especially in the second half. Chelsea could certainly finish top four if they constantly, or rather consistently, play that way. That is true. We are going to come to Chelsea and Man City and all other games. Yeah, Josh, sorry,
for me-
David, about Liverpool.
Yeah, for me, Liverpool has shown, let's call it just another attribute or another aspect about them. Because
Yeah.
now, with the exception of Mo Salah, it looks like Liverpool, the entire front line are genuine match winners. Each of them independently can take the game for Liverpool. And I
Yeah.
think that's a very, very, very interesting development
Sure.
for any manager to have, especially one that has just arrived at a club. He's going to have fun. I'm just looking forward to who will test Liverpool. I'm not yet sure we are ready, but I want to see someone just slightly around our punching weight testing Liverpool properly. Maybe I want to see a Liverpool and Spurs so that I see what this this Ancelot team is about, like for real. Or
No,
let's say
You have
even though
Liverpool
Chelsea is
United
disjointed
over the weekend.
over the weekend, I'm concerned that one will just
I
make Ten
certainly
Hag
do.
look a little
I
bad.
certainly do.
He's not yet
No,
ready for that particular fixture.
Ten Hag needs
That's
a
how I
good
feel.
beating, because I mean Brighton has once was it last season? Please, I think it was either last season, but one where Brighton, no, I think it was Brentford that beat in one of the opening games 4-0. But also there's a season Brighton whooped Ten Hag 4 goals. I think in
Yeah,
his first
so
season. I
Liverpool is
don't
going to
remember,
do
but
exactly that. Liverpool is going to do exactly that. So we shall not have seen a proper test for Ancelot. United is still in the very early
Ow.
stages
come
of
on,
their
Josh,
project.
did you get that? In other words, United is 2 weeks, so even if Liverpool wins,
Yeah,
think
we
Liverpool
are
is
we are
going to unfortunate
fragile. We
about
are
that.
fragile, but Liverpool is anyway. We shall come back for that. But peace, believe you me, you're not winning that game.
Yeah, please. There you go. Just telling you, you're not winning over the weekend. United will beat Liverpool. Let's go into the Man City game, guys. I mean, there's
Yeah.
really nothing much to talk about, but I mean, real quick, David, in
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Oh yes, there is. I'm going to be that
Erling
guy who is going to come back.
Haaland.
Yeah. David,
Yeah, I'm that guy who is here to say what you said is abominable. Last week, Josh called Savinho. You know, you said Savinho reminds you of Mahrez.
Savinho
Now I'm here to agree
of
completely.
Mahrez, yeah. And here he was.
I had some lingering
Yeah.
doubts. I had some lingering doubts, but City has
No,
found a way to just have these cookie cutter replacements. He's exactly like, well, that's the profile,
yeah.
genuinely, in a very genuine way, and he's just as dangerous, right? But then,
Actually,
for
Riyad Mahrez was shocked as well.
it's the similitude is just it's remarkable. They're very similar, even in the danger they pose to the attack. They're very brave in the way they attack the back line.
yeah.
But man, Rico Lewis, Zoku, De Bruyne, that game could have ended
You mean Doku?
6-1.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
Doku,
7, man. Could have stretched even to 7, man.
man, it's just
City-
that's the thing that
Yo,
has me
it's like
concerned.
they were
These guys are-
punishing them. How dare you score? How dare
yeah,
that was
they are
lethal.
inevitable.
And
The
yeah,
partnerships
Josh.
at the front are working.
Yeah,
They're too
Josh.
smooth and too electric. They open up any backline at will.
Yeah.
I would love
I
to
don't
see
see how they
Man
will not
City.
take the
See, I would love to see City playing against Arsenal, because I think right now Arsenal's
Arsenal.
backline is really solid. Sorry, so I would love to see that and see how it
Yeah, it's
goes.
very solid. It's
Josh,
very
walk me
solid.
through.
Actually, it is the thing.
Mm,
The backline of Arsenal is the thing that gives you good vibes that Arsenal is here for real. I mean, the rest of the people might not do their job, but if we want to hoof it around, we shall. Sorry, hoof it up. We shall hoof it. But Julian Timber and Saliba and Magalhaes, you see the size on those guys, and then the football intelligence from the two of the three. I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah, I agree with Nick Fadley. City looks scary, as in scary. No. I don't agree with you. In the Chelsea game, they didn't look scary. They look like a team that was forced to train. They didn't really want to train, but the coach was there, and it was time for training, and they had to strap up and go and play. It wasn't really a good game against Chelsea, but against Ipswich, they did remind everyone that they're the big boys in the league.
they're the big boys. Yeah, Josh, I wanted to
They
ask
were in the
you,
mood, and
both of you,
Kevin De Bruyne really looks like he's going to be in the mood early on in the season.
guys. I wanted to ask you, both of you, in 30 seconds each. Okay, 15 seconds each. Erling Haaland, is he going to make? Is he going to make 120 goals?
So the answer is it cannot be properly.
How can you
appreciated
ask such an easy question?
unless you put it in perspective? So you see, Erling Haaland, the thing that makes him truly world class and truly frightening is his efficiency. He does not need two chances. He does not need two chances. Those chances that Oli Watkins fumbled, they are 2 goals by Erling Haaland. Any other person may require, a misstep or, the right conditions. He does not. He simply knows how to finish, and he simply knows how to finish efficiently. So that's the thing that makes him very frightening. The numbers will be higher probably this season, I believe, because now the creativity at the top, at the front of Man City's attack is really there. You don't feel like Kevin De Bruyne is burdened. Savinho is creating chances. Doku is creating chances. They're coming from all over the place.
Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva is still in there,
Ike
slipping
Gundogan
balls
is
in.
back.
Haaland is just it's the perfect place to be for Haaland.
Yeah, Josh, in a minute,
Yeah, and
Haaland.
left-footed strikers are the best strikers if they actually get in the groove. But for me, I have always said something that people misunderstood, that Erling Haaland is the best goal scorer ever to live. And someone tells me, "Did you watch Ronaldo de Lima?" Ronaldo de Lima was not just a goal scorer; he's a footballer. But Erling Haaland is the best striker there ever is.
He,
All through his youth setups, he scored more goals than the games he has
yeah,
played.
he's been scoring goals. Anyway,
How do you beat that?
I see Nick also saying they normally start slow, sprint late, but this season it looks like they're already sprinting. They're already setting off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
True.
And yeah, and we see Abdurrahim saying hi, Isaac, Josh, and David, and chat. How are you? How are you all guys doing? Subscribe, like, respect, diversity, multicultural, love the stream. Many thanks. Thanks to you to Abdu Karim. Thank you for streaming in.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Abdul.
Josh. Let's talk about the game that had 8 goals. Chelsea. Chelsea match. Madueke scoring
Enzo
scoring a
Maresca.
hat trick, Enzo Maresca, you know, every time they would score, you'd see him moving around wanting to really jump up, but he can't jump. But you could see he was so happy, relieved. That's a good way to come back. Josh, you get what I'm saying? The other game was a draw, right?
Yeah, but for
No. It was a loss to Man City.
Yeah.
Understandable. It's Man
no,
City.
we lost
Of
2-0.
course. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Man City. They have things going
But
on.
the performance was poor. The second half
Where?
performance was so poor from him against Man City. So
Yeah,
I mean, Enzo
I'm saying
Maresca, for such managers.
this is a good way to come back. It's a good way to come back. So right now, I'm
True.
very happy with
True.
Enzo Maresca, Ancelotti. They're really proving that they are going to produce results. The Brighton manager is also proving that he's not someone to ignore. We have Jody Yehman Sports Hub saying, "Hey guys, I do YouTube as well. Shout outs to you, Jody. Share your link. Happy to subscribe as well."
To you.
And he says, "I subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." Then Abdu says, "Hi Jordan, you're a Liverpool fan." Jordan, we just talked about Liverpool. Good game. I think you should be very, very happy with how things are going currently. Ancelotti producing results, utilizing players. You have Salah looking fresh, very, very fresh, by the way. You have players like Diaz firing in. He just needs to tune Darwin in as well. Darwin is one of the players that misses those, oh my God, chances that should be.
That's why he will never be Haaland.
But yeah, Liverpool also looks great.
He can never be.
Guys, we're talking about Chelsea. Madueke yesterday scoring a hat trick. Jackson. I'm not a fan of Jackson, but I'm going to say this. Technically, he's good. Technically, he's good. No.
It is just scenarios.
No, technically, he's very, very good. At least he's done something. He's done something. Sorry, I was reading something. He's done something. The game yesterday, I know he scored 14 goals last season. He was their top scorer. Josh keeps on reminding me. But
after Cole Palmer, the penalty
in
game.
less than ideal circumstances, he scored
in the goal by Cole Palmer. Josh, I told you. Palmer. You saw that goal.
Yeah. But now the thing I want to start with talking about Chelsea is Marcus Rashford and Bukayo Saka have played for ages in the Premier League and have never scored a hat-trick. Noni Madueke just came out and banged a hat-trick, as in like real quick. But the other guys are stars, are better. It is believed that the other guys are the stars. Anyhow, from the preseason, we did believe that Enzo Maresca would that Noni Madueke would be one of Enzo Maresca's brightest players, because he gave him a lot of width. He gave him a lot of excitement during the preseason. I even did not understand why he did not start the game, but I also appreciate the fact that Enzo Maresca has a very huge squad that he's dealing with, and players like Noni Madueke and like his front three will have to be sorted out, and I think that he's sorting it out. When Enzo Maresca earlier in the week made that statement of clarity to Raheem Sterling, it actually
Yeah.
gave me belief that now this manager is getting the bull by the horns. He actually is going to be in control at the club, and he will produce on the pitch. They won the game that they played in the Conference League qualifier 2-0, and now he has won 6-1. But the game appeared like a youth game.
6-2.
You know,
6-1.
it appeared like a youth game of you know what? We want goals. Everyone wants to get in on the party. Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
was just rushing here and there. It was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to watch.
See, then you have Yao Felix. I mean, he's permanently moved. He has permanently moved to
Ooh,
Chelsea. Scores on his
second
debut
debut,
as a
second
full
debut
Chelsea
goal.
player. Yeah, you know, very, very good goal. Very good. You could see him celebrating with Neto. You know, the Portuguese very, very happy right there. Let's go to other games where we had a
Yeah.
Newcastle and Bournemouth 1-1. That goal that was cancelled, VAR. I still think that should have been a goal because it was on the shoulder. It wasn't on the hand. It was right here. That should have been a goal. Josh, all day
I
that should
believe
have been a
so
goal.
too. I believe so too.
Ah,
But
okay.
I'm made to
I
believe
thought you were
that
saying otherwise.
I'm made to believe that the rules have now changed. I'm meant to believe that the rules have now changed to include, I don't know, a part of the arm. I don't know, part of the shirt. Before last season, they had told us that the sleeve wouldn't count. Now they say that part of the arm. So why create all these uncertainties? Because it will come back at some point. But where is the discretion of the referees? I mean, yes, the robots tell you what to do, but where's your own discretion? You can look at the screen and you know that this is not an arm. Maybe I've not seen the rule yet. I've not seen the rule yet, but
I saw it.
I was meant to
It's
believe
got to
that
do with the shoulder.
the handball rule changed.
Yeah, David. Let's look at.
Utara's goal. Django Utara.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh. David, let's look at Crystal Palace being humbled by West Ham, 2 goals. You still think West Ham is a force? Because they've done some very incredible signings by the West Ham. You see teams like
Well, it's a mid-table
Brighton,
force. It's a
very
mid-table
good
force. And that's opposition that's right down there.
Which can destabilize our
Yeah. But they have
Yeah,
it in
they
their
can destabilize a few teams from London.
Yeah, they won comfortably yesterday 2-0. We see Nick saying, Josh, Arsenal playing Brighton next game. Do you want Arsenal to take on Man United's
Hold my
behalf?
dream.
No. No. Brighton is not Brighton. I'm not fighting with Brighton. We don't want the same things. So I would rather that Arsenal loses the game. But Arsenal just has too much for Brighton. It will have too much for Brighton.
Okay,
United
guys,
was just
on.
not clinical enough. There was that chance that Amad Diallo. Okay, move on.
No, it's okay. You're saying that chance that Amad Diallo?
Yeah, there was that chance that Amad Diallo gets the ball. We are on a break, and he passes the ball behind Rashford. He has Fernandes on his right and Rashford on his left, and passes the ball behind Rashford. I mean, it would have been the easiest pass to Fernandes to slot in.
I see
to square the ball for Rashford, but it wasn't meant to be.
Sorry, Josh. Abdul is saying Man United versus Liverpool Sunday. That is correct, Abdul. We will come back talk about that on Friday. That's a game. That's one game, and we all know majority know who's going to win. Majority know who's going to win. Guys, let's
Man
look at Tottenham.
United.
Postecoglou yesterday making also having a good weekend, beating not yesterday, on Saturday, beating Everton 4-0. Bissouma, that was very, very good for him. I mean, it gave him boost because he had been suspended. Not by It's not like he had got a red card or something, but he was left out of the squad due to I don't know, issues to do with indiscipline. But what a way to come back, make a statement, score as a goal. Son had Son had 2 goals. Of course, Romero also scoring.
And
Then
a sumptuous goal at that.
yeah. Then we also have Southampton and Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest beating Southampton 1-0. By the way, if Southampton is not careful, they are going to go down this. They are being relegated this season.
Returning.
Fulham beating
Yeah, Leicester
Leicester.
City, Everton.
Southampton. Those are one of the teams that might go. Ipswich. I mean, of course, there are only 3 teams, but three of those 4 teams will go. We have Fulham yesterday beating Leicester City 2-1. Smith scoring a beautiful goal. I think that's it.
Yeah,
That's for the
and
weekend.
Alex Iwobi.
Alex. Both former Arsenal players, by the way. Doing a
Yeah,
great
and the
job
goals were
yesterday.
scored in the same manner and with the left foot.
Mhm.
So
Abdul,
Marco Silva gets his first 3 points
and
as
he was.
Arsenal, as Man United lose.
I like his passion, by the way. I like Marco Silva, Maresca, Arteta. I like the fact that Arteta gets involved. He'll even go fight the referees. I like that from a
So
manager. I
is
really
that
like
the
that.
reason? Is that the reason? Is that the reason you don't want Eric Ten Hag, because he's
No,
composed,
I
he's
like Ten
calm, he's
Hag. I like
classy?
Ten Hag. I like Ten Hag, Josh.
Yeah.
But his decisions, he need to make. He needs to step up. He needs to make those bold decisions. You see, let me give you an example. You see, Ancelot took off Trent. You saw how Trent was sulking. He wasn't happy. Ancelot went even to speak to him on the bench, but Trent wasn't having it. He just kept quiet. He didn't say anything, or he was just sulking. Even after the game, he barely celebrated after the final whistle. Walking around, I don't remember who came trying to tell him. It was one of the coaching staff trying to tell him cheer up. But I like managers who make decisions. That was a big move decision, and it shows that Ancelot is in control. I'm not saying Ten Hag doesn't make big decisions. No, of course,
Had
but
we
right
won?
decisions.
Had we won the game after Eric Ten Hag?
I was still
Had
going.
we
You
won
see
the
the
game after
Fulham,
Eric Ten Hag had pulled off um, Bruno Fernandes, what would you have said?
Josh, I think I still criticize. I wasn't happy with that last in your first game against Fulham. He still benched Garnacho and played Rashford. I wasn't happy about Mason Mount for the game for the who Joshua Zirkzee not starting. Okay, that was understandable, but in this game, Zirkzee had to start, and I hope he doesn't make the same mistakes on Liverpool. If you do that, Liverpool is going to whoop you a good number of goals. David, Arsenal, what do we expect? Should we expect more from Arsenal?
Man, I just hope to see more impetus in our attack. We're starting to have that spell of looking predictable again. Although we have found probably new ways to score goals, I just want to see that same.
Just play Trossard, David. Play Trossard.
The pace. The manager seems to have a preference for the pace. Although we can talk about
he's
Saka.
fast. Trossard is fast as well.
Well, when there's Martinelli, it becomes questionable.
Yeah.
Well, he should start, honestly speaking. But yeah, once again, thank you so much, everyone that has been in the stream. Abdul, Nick, as always. Peace, shout outs to you. Then you have You have Jordan. Jordan, we will subscribe. I promise we will subscribe. Thank you. Who else? There's someone else. Of course. Oh, Adieri. Adieri was saying something earlier. I missed it. What was it? I think it was the
Yes.
same thing. Adieri,
His
forget
player,
about
Nicolas
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, is a Juventus player.
He's a Juventus player. They beat you to that.
Sorry.
These other deals. No, Ryan is not coming. Adieri. Ryan is not coming. Ryan is not coming. Mark Gehi. I don't know unless you guys step up, but it doesn't look like Crystal Palace is willing to sell. I don't think they are willing to sell. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much once again. Sports Jazz, subscribe, like, and share. Isaac, David, and Josh. There's a new comment before we sign out. I see someone saying Abdul, which team do you support? Abdul is saying Jota and Trossard are so similar.
Except they're deployed in different places.
India. Off the bench goal. I think that's the similarity he's pointing out.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're signing out once again. Thank you so much for tuning in, Sports Jazz. Whoever's been streaming with us live, Isaac, David, and Josh. Guys, I'm signing out. Any last words for our viewers?
Just like and subscribe.
Yeah, guys, subscribe, continue watching our videos, and share them as well. Thank you very much.
Peace, guys. Signing out.